I'm Chris Fry from 19 News. Here are the latest headlines for Monday, February 2nd, 2026.
First with breaking news. First with new information. Plus, your first alert forecast. 19 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
They were able to actually pull themselves to safety on their own.
A father and his young daughter amazingly survived that small plane crash in Brimfield Township, and just moments ago, we've now learned their names. Thanks for joining us first at 4. I'm Nicole Versansky.
And I'm Brian Duffy. The plane lost power, went down. Brittany Weir joins us now live with new information, Brittany, on this investigation.
Yes, Brian and Nicole, what was supposed to be a quick plane ride quickly turned to panic. Ohio State Highway Patrol says that plane crashed here in Brimfield Township just after 2:30 Sunday afternoon. They also say that father and daughter are just lucky to be alive. What was supposed to be a short trip turned into a terrifying crash landing.
When we got there, our troopers noticed that there was a plane upside down in the back of a field, in the back of a farm.
Sunday afternoon, Brian Jurgensen and his 12-year-old daughter were flying this 1944 Piper Cub near Ranfield Road in Brimfield Township.
We do know that the property that they crashed on, it seems as if that was a family friend, and they were flying over the farm to just say hello to the homeowner there.
But mid-flight, the vintage aircraft started having technical problems.
It was determined that the plane had lost engine power, and it hit the top of a tree. And as soon as it hit the top of the tree, it overturned and went onto its top.
The 80-year-old plane came to rest upside down in a wooded area. But amazingly, both father and daughter were able to free themselves and walk to the homeowner for help.
They were able to free themselves from the airplane on their own, and they were able to seek attention from the homeowner.
Paramedics took the dad and his daughter to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Jurgensen took off from Wadsworth Airport and was heading right back when that crash happened.
What something that could have turned out to be a tragedy is actually going to turn out to be something positive, with them both surviving and being able to walk away from something that could have been very, very tragic.
OSHP says weather was not a factor in this crash, and they are working closely with the FAA to further investigate. In Ravenna, Brittany Weir, 19 News.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast. Certified most accurate since 2004.
All right, temperatures in the mid-20s.
Ooh, balmy.
Heat wave.
But the mid-20s, listen, are an improvement on the mid-teens, right?
They absolutely are. 19 First Alert meteorologist Sam Roberts, though, unfortunately tracking our next shot of snow.
Yeah, end of the week, and it's snowing right now. I mean, the winter that won't quit, right? At least we're through January. It's always
Feels
positive.
like an accomplishment. Doesn't
It does. This year, that is a big deal, right? It is officially February. We made it, but we are tracking some snow out there this afternoon. We are above zero. That is a major positive, and the sun was out yesterday. Things are getting better. It's 23 in Cleveland, and we've got wind chills in the teens just because we do have that breeze out there. Little snow, too. Most of it now is east of I-77. We've got some snow about to move into Euclid. Snow showers out across Lake County, Geauga, Summit, down into Portage County, and Trumbull County as well. If you're out in Ashtabula or if you're up in Madison, the snow coming through the central part of Lake County is going to be moving in here shortly. And then Stark County, a little scattered snow. Portage and over through Central Summit. It is snowing in Akron right now, so don't be caught off guard over the next several hours if you do run into a little snow. We're going to keep a chance in tonight for just kind of passing snow showers, not a ton of accumulation, inch or less. So this is not a major snow event, and better odds for more measurable snow coming on Friday. Now we'll have a little snow out there tomorrow, but again, our biggest snow of the week, we'll say, looks to arrive on Friday with a clipper system. I'm not seeing a ton of snow. I think a general 1 to 3 inches for most of us, with most of us getting closer to 3, and then locally up to 4 in spots. So no big snows this week. Tonight, pretty quiet. Here's the hourly forecast. We're cloudy, and I'm going to keep a chance overnight for just kind of some hit or miss snow showers moving through and a little breezy at times, but overall a big improvement compared to last week. Do you feel the difference between being below zero and being in the 20s? I think so. I definitely noticed. We'll take a closer look at the week ahead. I've got a 30 on the 7-day. Hard to believe. We'll tell you when in just a bit.
Two sisters shot over the weekend in Cleveland. One of them did not survive.
Police think they may have been targeted. Now they're trying to figure out who pulled the trigger. 19 News reporter Catherine Huntley joins us live with the latest on the investigation.
Yeah, this is really just such a terrible situation in Slavic Village. A family now mourning the loss of a 19-year-old. Police say they have a person of interest, but no arrests have been made yet.
The sound of gunfire erupted early Sunday around 1:20 a.m. in Cleveland's Slavic Village.
We had a shot fire alert for 13 rounds, and then we received a call where our caller said that 2 females were shot, and the caller said that she was shot in the back.
When police arrived, they found 2 teens, a 19-year-old woman and 15-year-old girl, both shot. The 19-year-old was identified as Crystal Pittman. She tragically died at the scene. Her family tells us the 2 girls are sisters. We spoke with Pittman's family on the phone today. They said she was extremely generous and cared so much about her family and friends. She was a Euclid High School grad, currently at Tri-C. She was working as a nursing assistant, doing home health care, helping others. All that while she applied to colleges in Texas. Police don't believe this was random. They said there was an interaction between at least one person and the 2 teens, after which gunshots flew.
We do have a person of interest that we are looking to confirm and speak with. And once we get to that point, we believe we can hopefully have a little bit more clarity as to what occurred at this incident.
Police told us the 15-year-old was grazed by a bullet and was released from the hospital.
Despite this being a tragedy, we hope that the community can unite. If there's someone out there that knows or may have heard something, we just ask that they give us a call and assist in this investigation as well.
After speaking with Crystal's foster mother and aunt, I just want to underscore how loving and caring and generous they say Crystal was. In fact, she would take extra shifts trying to help others at her job as a home health aide. She was also extremely ambitious and was just so excited for her future. For now, live in Cleveland, Catherine Huntley, 19 News.
Now your 19 First Alert traffic update.
First alerting you again to this Summit County crash that we now have an update for. There's a tow truck that has just arrived on the scene. This crash is on 76 westbound just after 77 in Summit County. And as you can see here, there's that tow truck. So now we have those flashing lights, first responders. Make sure that you are adhering to that move over law. Stay as far over to that left side as you can, and if you can't safely move over, you have to go slowly and safely around them as you can. We don't want any other accidents around there. So this isn't just the only crash that I've been keeping my eye on throughout Northeast Ohio. There's a few more that have been popping up. So first I'll bring you here to the Lakewood area where there's one lane that's blocked on Detroit Road that's just west of Riverside Drive. Now I don't have a camera in that area, but speeds are moving around still just around 30 miles per hour. Nothing too out of the ordinary there. A crash is also on Clegg Road over at 480. And if you're going to be heading this way in the Northfield area, there's a crash that's also on Valley View Road that's affecting both sides of that travel. Speed just around 30 miles per hour. You should be able to get around those first responders just fine where Valley View Road meets Dunham Road. And that last crash is still in Lodi near the Chatham area where Chippewa Road still has that crash that's partly blocking off the road between Avon Lake Road and Vandemark Road.
It was an investigation into Ashtabula County deputies' use of force, killing a man who had a gun and led them on a chase on a motorcycle.
Case is now closed. The evidence has been released, including the video. Dan DeRose is here to show you the key points. You can take a look for yourself, decide for yourself.
Yeah, and let's get the warning out of the way. This is a man who lost his life. This all happened back in September in Ashtabula County. You're going to see some of the video. We're going to lead you right up to the shooting. We're going to stop the video there, but you'll hear it This is the gun that Jerry Pegram had on him. First, he was riding a motorcycle, this black mask, in the middle of September. It was decent weather that day. He was on a motorcycle. Police tried to pull him over because there was no license plate, no registration on that motorcycle. He takes them on a chase. Let's first look at some of the video from the chase just released. You can see he's driving in oncoming traffic. He's eventually going to turn onto a gravel road right here. They force him into the ditch. Now he doesn't stop there. He runs about 20 yards into the woods. About 4 or 5 deputies follow him in there. One deputy tries to turn off the motorcycle. You see what happens there. Now again, a warning. You're going to see the gun that he had on him. He's going to try and pull it from his jacket, and he's given several commands. Don't do it.
Roll over now! No! Do not! Gun! Do not do it! Do not do it! No! Shots fired.
You heard the deputies yell, gun, gun, gun. He had on him some drugs at the time. Obviously, that gun that we showed you earlier, this was the gun, and they immediately pulled it off him. They emptied these shells. Very interesting gun here. It looks like a revolver, but it shoots these shotgun-type shells. That's what he was trying to pull out of his jacket. I spoke with the Ashtabula County Prosecutor's Office today. They have taken all the evidence that was given to them by BCI, and according to the Prosecutor's Office, they did not take this case to the grand jury, decide it didn't warrant it, and they claim it is now case closed, and that will clear those Ashtabula deputies. If you'd like to see more of the evidence that was released, go to cleveland19.com.
Okay, Dan, thank you. Well, today in Stark County, the trial for a convicted sex offender accused of kidnapping a woman was scheduled to begin. Jackson Township police say 38-year-old Jamie Triplett threatened the victim with a knife, forcing her to drive to another location. This was last September at the Roadway Inn in the township. The woman wasn't physically hurt. Triplett was convicted of rape and kidnapping in 2012 before getting out of prison last year. We're working to get the latest information from the court on this particular case.
A change of plea in the murder trial scheduled to start today. That's Darian Hobley. He's now pleading guilty to killing his girlfriend outside a Bedford AutoZone last August. The two were fighting apparently before the shooting happened. Hobley will be sentenced later this month.
Live look at downtown Cleveland, where temperatures today have soared into the mid-20s, which actually is a whole lot better than the mid-teens, which is what we've been dealing with. Even temperatures in the single digits. So yeah, we'll take the mid-20s at this point. Sam's got your forecast coming up, where we are looking at some snow at the end of the week. Sam's going to break all that down for us. Well, as more people stay inside during the cold winter months, firefighters are warning people who use oxygen in their homes.
So they say smoking-related fires are the top cause of deaths, fire deaths in the state of Ohio. Most of those involve oxygen. 19 investigator Mike Mason has the story.
You're watching video of a rapidly moving fire. These are white-hot flames shooting through the tubes of a home oxygen system.
That fire is going to travel down that tubing, as you saw, and it's going to light everything on fire, including their clothing.
The state fire marshal now warning anyone who smokes while using oxygen systems at home. They say 51 people in Ohio have already died in smoking-related fires since 2022. Most of those resulted from smoking next to home oxygen tanks.
It's a deadly act. We don't want people to smoke on oxygen. If they do smoke on oxygen, they have a great chance of perishing in that fire.
Anita Matheny is the chief of the State Fire Prevention Bureau. As the mercury drops, she says more people will likely stay inside to smoke. Firefighters are urging Ohioans not to light up or use any open flame anywhere around oxygen. Even though the gas itself doesn't burn, it makes fires ignite faster and burn hotter. But there's one small piece of equipment that can make a huge difference.
This device stops the flow of oxygen should that happen.
Thermal fuses can be installed on the tubing to stop the flow of oxygen when a fire is detected. They only cost a few bucks and can prevent a fire from spreading, which could potentially save a life.
There's a few different ways to get these fuses. If you're prescribed oxygen, sometimes your provider will give them to you. You can also stop by a medical supply store. They only cost a few bucks, or go to your local fire station. Sometimes they have them for free. Mike Mason, 19 News.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast. Certified most accurate since 2004.
Your first alert to more snow on the way. Little clipper system coming in on Friday, and it could bring us some widespread snow. Now, we're still a ways out from Friday, right? We know that it's only Monday, but models have been really indicating this since late last week. So a lot of consistency here with this clipper coming in really early Friday morning. So it's actually going to start snowing before sunrise. But the problem is it's going to keep snowing. So your first alert for the morning commute, we could have some slick spots out there, even some snow-coated roads, low visibility, some squalls certainly would not surprise me. So the snow may be pretty steady. It may come in some wind-driven bursts. We all remember the snow squall alerts we were getting last week. So something to watch for sure. And some of the snow may even stick around through the afternoon into the evening. So some additional travel headaches even later in the day. I think generally about 1 to 3 inches locally, up to 4, because on the back end of this, we're going to get a little lake effect. And you might be wondering, well, how are we going to get lake effect if the lake is, mostly iced over? Well, there's always cracks in the ice because we get windy here. So the ice cracks, and then you've got a little moisture to work with, and some of the ice is thin. So again, I think we see some lake effect late Friday into Saturday, but just with the system in general, 1 to 3 inches, most of us falling on the higher end of that. Locally, we could see up to 4 inches in spots. Today's snow not quite as impressive. That snow on Friday is coming with a clipper system, and sometimes those can be pretty potent. But right now we've just got kind of light snow out there across parts of Summit County, down into Stark County, and then over here into Trumbull County. We're tracking some snow. If you're in Portage County, the snow is going to be picking up here in the next few minutes. Geauga County, we have some snow here and out into the snow belt as well. So for tonight, cloudy skies, hit or miss snow showers. Most of the snow will occur before 7 p.m. If not before that, we'll be mostly done. But even overnight, I wouldn't rule out some isolated kind of hit or miss little snow showers. Cloudy tomorrow, a few passing snow showers for us, but an inch or less. Once again, this is not going to be a ton of snow out there. Biggest thing is the temperature. Finally get back up to about 26 tomorrow. Look at us, 27, Akron, Canton, cloudy, chilly, few passing snow showers, and again, an inch or less. And then Wednesday, Thursday, we have no snow in the forecast. We might, especially Thursday, even see a little sun out there. 21 on Wednesday, 23 on Thursday. I know it's not great, but it is a lot better than last week. I was, on social media yesterday, and everybody, myself included, was saying like, oh, 20 has never felt so good. Well, the sun was out, so Wednesday, Thursday may feel okay to you before we get that clipper on Friday. The problem with clippers is that they bring cold Canadian air into the region. So Saturday, 5 in the morning, 14 in the afternoon. Nothing we're not used to at this point, right? At least we're back in the 20s by Sunday.
Okay, Sam, well, we're not even sniffing baseball weather at this point, but you can still buy tickets to see the Akron Rubber Ducks. Ticket prices are as low as $5. They're just going on sale. You can get your tickets online or call the ballpark's box office. The Rubber Ducks get the season started on April 2nd.
As part of Cleveland Schools' massive restructuring plan, 18 CMSD-owned buildings will be empty at the end of May. So now the question is, what to do with those buildings? There will be several chances for you to weigh in. The first listening session is what they're called, will be Thursday from 5:30 to 7. This is at Collinwood, the Collinwood Rec Center on Lakeshore. The focus will be on schools in that specific area. You can see the other listening sessions there listed on your screen. CMSD announced the school closures late last year to save the district $30 million annually. You can also weigh in online. Go to cleveland19.com, click the Seen on TV section for the survey.
Tyrez Stewart is the U.S. Marshal's Fugitive of the Week. He is wanted for involuntary manslaughter and some drug violations. Stewart, he hangs around in the Cleveland area. He's 29, 6'1", 195. A reward is being offered for anyone that provides information leading to his arrest. If you know anything, please contact the U.S. Marshal's Office.
I'm Chris Fry. Thanks for listening, and be sure to subscribe for the latest headlines every weekday.